Hi, I'm Bailey with Sage Homes.
And I'm Ali McDermott with Magnolia and Lace. And I am going to be teaching you today how to do a spring centerpiece. I chose a kind of white and fresh look because we're still transitioning into spring because we're in Utah and it takes forever. So instead of doing the colorful pops like I usually like to do, I decided to come up with a fresh, clean palette, hopefully bring in those spring vibes. I also decided to kind of pull more of a Joanna Gaines look. This house is very modern with clean lines and I kind of wanted to incorporate that. So we did a metal black house that our centerpiece will be sitting in. And I kind of got started for you guys a little bit just so I can show you the full process of it. We have really fun blooms, some of my favorite stuff. We have some freesia, which is right here, tulips, we have Tibet roses, stock. We also have some really pretty anemones.
These are so pretty.
Aren't those so fun? And we have anthuriums, which are really fun too, that we'll be using. One of my favorite flowers are white ranunculus, so we'll be working with those too. And we also have some bleached Italian ruscus, just to add some more textures to it. And we have some pops of the eucalyptus to kind of tie in our farmhouse look that we're going for. So I'm just going to get started. A couple tips. First of all, this is sitting in a wet foam that I have hydrated and dipped all my flowers in some flower food so that they're all set and ready to go for our centerpiece. Anyways, the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to trim our stems because this is a little bit longer. We are doing a kind of bohemian look, just kind of wild and free in this. So they're all going to be like different ranges and heights.
Okay, I was gonna ask that, like, does it have to be a certain
No, I'm all about the free-flowing bohemian.
Okay, I am
you
too.
just picked your flowers in the field kind of look, and that's totally my style for my weddings and my events that I do. I also do a good amount of workshops year-round, and so something like this will probably be in the summer that we'll do. So super fun. Anyways, we're gonna cut our stems at an angle, just like that. When we cut it at an angle like that, it just kind of gives it more of a chance for the rose to suck up more of the liquids and just kind of last a little bit longer. So I'm just gonna put this in, and I am a little OCD, I don't know if anyone else is, but sometimes I feel like the hardest part is just like putting in the first couple flowers and roses because you're like, oh my gosh, where do I put them? But especially with like the whole bohemian aspect of centerpieces and arrangements, you just kind of just let your creativity just roll. So super fun. Putting in my anemone right now. These are really pretty, and they also sometimes have a blush tint to them, which are really pretty. Just like
Where do you go to buy these?
So I am a local florist, so just my wholesaler.
Okay, nice.
So if you wanted some fresh blooms, hello, I'm your gal. Also, another fun one is Trader Joe's if you just kind of are wanting to play with a centerpiece for cheaper price. Costco has some too. The only problem with those places sometimes is they're not as fresh as you want them to be. So they're kind of been sitting there for a little bit. Basically, I'm your gal if you want some fresh flowers.
Good to know.
Okay, so I'm going to stick in another one of these right here. Just kind of add some height. I also have some tulips just to kind of bring in those spring vibes that I was talking about. Tulips are a little bit tricky just because they bend super easily and they're pretty fragile. So you want to make sure you get them down in the foam pretty well and they kind of have a place to lean on. Another trick that I like to do is I like to stick them in white IKEA straws, the ends of them. And it just kind of keeps them sturdy and
that's smart.
adds like, it kind of does the form. Okay, so these are white ranunculus. They're super fun. They look like pillows. These are probably one of my favorite flowers. I get asked about that all the time. But probably peonies and ranunculus I think are my favorite. But they just kind of have like such a fun, soft texture pillow. They look like a pillow. So we're going to add some of those in. And I'm going to cut this one a little bit shorter and I'm cutting at an angle just like that. I'm going to put it down in front for us. I'm going to get some more of the stalk And we want to make sure when we're putting the flowers in the arrangements that we're taking all of the leaves off, just because it kills the plant faster and it just doesn't look as pretty. So it looks a little more manicured and trimmed when the leaves are off. So I'm going to put this one over here. So just kind of like what I'm doing, all heights and sizes. These are one of my favorites too, so I had to include those. I also have some orchids in here down in the front. I don't know if you can see.
these. Pretty.
Just kind of go with our white vibes. And then I am huge on obviously centerpieces for holiday tables and things like that. And sometimes I don't want them to sit out for days. Sometimes I just want them for that specific event. So usually when you get your roses, they'll kind of look tight like this. So a trick that I like to do is just right at the head, I'll kind of go roll it just like that.
Okay.
And it kind of opens up our rose just like that. And then I'll just kind of play, kind of open up a little bit. This just makes it so they're full and pretty. So let's say you had an Easter event tonight. This will be all set to go and all pretty for your guests.
I'm gonna try.
Oh, yes.
So this right here, this, like this,
Perfect, yes.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
And just like that.
Mm-hmm. And then just slowly.
Very
And like I
delicate.
said, this is for, and you could just put that one right there. Mm-hmm. And like I said before, if you are wanting that today, then that's your best option. If you want them to last a little bit longer, then I would just let those blooms open up by themselves. Just gonna add some more height right there. Do you want to do some more?
Yeah.
Okay. So these are anemones.
This one here.
And like I said, before I got started, so that we can finish this in time, kind of show you the outcome. But normally you would start out at the base and kind of fill in, put pops in, and then you kind of work your way up. So that's kind of what we're doing right now, is we're filling in that middle area, and then we'll fill in more of the top.
So just like in the middle right here.
And we're just gonna, all angles that you're gonna insert it in the foam, it just kind of gives it that free-flowing look. So basically what we did here is we just kind of filled in these empty spots with just the variety of flowers that we used. I really like to do a variety when I do centerpieces because I feel like it just kind of adds that texture that you're kind of looking for. When you do one or two roses, you don't really get that kind of look and fullness about it.